Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a bouncy house. So there's a few cool features with this. I'll show them you before we get the tutorial started. So the idea here is very simple. The way that you're supposed to get up to the house is you are supposed to navigate the actual bouncy part of this, in which we have a very small and a little bit that's actually a 4-block jump. I'm quite happy I made that. I actually fail that like 90% of the time. But there's a little bit of a parkour course that you've got to take to get all the way up to the house. It's kind of fun. The floors are bouncy, as you'll see here. A bug boing, and if you make it all the way up through the parkour course, you'll find your way into this nice cozy little house that we have all the way at the top here, that has all sorts of stuff that you would need or that you would want inside a house. And to get down, and by the way, this is also a way that you can actually get up to the house as well, and to get down, all we have to do is just come all the way down this handy little water slide. So as you can see, it's a very fun house. I'm hoping that you guys enjoy this video. I can't believe that I actually managed to do the parkour course the first time round. I am horrible at parkour. That's quite a feat for me. If you enjoyed this tutorial, if you're impressed with the fact that I actually managed to do that, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. I honestly would appreciate you no end for doing that by hitting that like. And that's pretty much everything, guys. Why don't I show you how to make this thing? So, to begin, I should let you know that this house in its entirety should only take about a 24 block by a 19 block area. 24 blocks coming across the front and the back, and 19 blocks going from the front to the back. If you like, you can plan out this build a little bit better by building a big grid in the ground with these dimensions. We also need all of these materials that I have in my inventory and hotbar. The ones that I've put in my hotbar are the ones that we're going to be using first of all. Make sure that you have them all. Pause the video if necessary, grab all the stuff, figure out if you've got enough room, and if you do those things, we can begin. Now, I'm going to start on my grid. So if you actually do build a grid in your world, you want to come all the way to the very back left-hand corner of the grid, which is this block, and then you want to move to the right by 1, and this is where we are going to start things off. Begin with a row of 7 yellow concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go right of that 7th block by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect that 8th block down to the ground. But what you also want to do is you want to take that 8th block, which is this one of course, and you want to extend it towards you by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then extend that 7th block all the way down to the ground like this. And you also want to take the 7th block that we placed earlier, you guys might be able to remember, and we want to extend this block towards us by 7 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And extend that 7th block all the way down to the ground. Wonderful. What we now want to do is we want to use our lime concrete, and we want to place a row of lime concrete that goes all the way around the inside of the bottom of the platform that we've made. So, connecting together inwards diagonally, we want to place a square of lime green concrete that looks exactly like this. And we want to raise the lime green concrete until the lime green concrete is 1 block shorter than the yellow concrete. So to put it into perspective, it wants to be this high, and it also wants to be that high all the way around. If you like, you can actually connect it all together like this at the top, just underneath the yellow. And we also want to fill the sides in as well, because we don't want to have any weird gaps in our bouncy house. So we're going to fill these in all with lime green. And a cool thing about this particular part of the build is you might have saw at the start of the video that the house portion is a little bit small, but it can be expanded by building into this area here. Also, fill in the top of your lime green cube with, of course, lime green, like this. So far, we want to have this shape. It's quite simple, really. What we now want to do is we want to use blue concrete, and we want to place a blue concrete on top of this front left-hand corner here, and on top of this front right-hand corner. Like this, so here and here, just to show you the marked positions. We then want to place upon these 3 more blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Like this. We also want to place a door right in the middle here. Now, I didn't actually grab a door at the start of the video because it's not necessary, but I think better to visualize, I'm just going to place a door here. And I'm also going to place I don't know why I got rid of the yellow concrete. I'm going to place some red concrete around the door on the left, right, and I'm also going to build above it and connect it. I'm going to build up yellow concrete left and right of the door, like that. I want to connect it together at the top, so above the door. I'm going to take the middle block and I want to place a glass. And I want to place yellow concrete left of the glass, 1, 2. Right of the glass, 1, 2, like that. And I'm going to place a yellow concrete above the glass, left and right, and once again above the glass. So to create a pointy shape, I want to have something which should very much look like this. Now, if we come to the back of the build, we want to do a similar sort of thing back here. So you can see where we place the blue columns on the front. On the back, we want to take the back 2 corners and we want to place rows of 4 blue coming upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And then we're going to place yellow concrete in between these. And the yellow concrete wants to come up as high as the actual blue concrete as well. We're going to place a glass in the very center. And then we're going to place yellow concrete next to the glass. Extend it left 1 and right 1. Also above the glass, left 1, right 1. And above that middle block, like this. Now, once you've done that, we are going to add a tad bit more detail. So if we come to the left-hand side here, we want to place a row of yellow concrete coming inwards from the left-hand side where we have the blue, and the right-hand side where we have the blue, like that. And then we're going to make a nice big window out of glass. So starting from the bottom, we want to place 2 rows of glass, like that. And then that should be perfectly fine. Now, once you... we even want to place... we'll place yellow concrete above the window as well, by the way. Now, if we come to the opposite side is a little bit different in that the opposite side, we want to place a row of red concrete that comes inwards from the blue and like 1 row outwards. So just to show you, it's like here, here, and here, and here, here, and here. And of course, this is the main entrance. So like we'll bounce up here, we'll land somewhere inside there. That'll be good. Now, once you've done that, we want to grab the yellow concrete and we want to take the platform that we've made, and on top of each one of the 4 corners of the platform, and there are 4 corners, you want to place 2 yellow concretes coming up. So to show you, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Now place red concrete on top of each one of those yellow blocks. So you want to have the 2 rows of yellow with the 1 row of red, like this. Now, if you come to the front, I'll show you how this goes together. So you see this pair of red concrete, extend the red concrete upwards by 1. On either side, just up by 1, nice and easy. And then in by 1, in 1, and then up one, and then in one, then up one, in by one, up by one, connect in the middle, up by one, like that. You also want to take the very first red blocks and you want to flare them out to these sides by one to create a much more traditional roof shape. Then we want to extend all of the outer red blocks. We don't have to do all of them. All the outer red blocks, we want to extend them backwards until they connect to the red blocks that you already have on the back, if that makes sense. And you know what? We actually do have to extend all of the red concrete blocks. That is an error, because otherwise we'll have a very weird looking roof at the back. Like, the roof won't look complete unless, of course, you do extend them all. And that's perfectly fine as well, because in placing all of the like middle blocks for the roof, if that makes sense when I say the middle blocks, the ones that aren't just the edges, then it's actually going to like seal up a lot of weird spaces that we would otherwise have inside of our little bouncy house. So it's not such a bad thing that we are filling in the entire roof here. Right, there we go. So that is what we want to have so far. Now, once you have that, you've actually done a decent portion of the actual bouncy house. That's the living space, pretty much. Let's work on the slide next. So, as you saw at the start of the video, there is indeed a slide. It's one of the more fun parts of this. So, if you remember, the first two blue concretes that we placed earlier, it's this one and this one. From these blue concretes, you want to extend outwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We now want to follow this pattern until we eventually hit the ground. Take the 4th blocks and extend them down 1, towards you. Down 1, towards you. Down 1, towards you. And so on and so forth until you eventually hit the ground like this. And you want to do this on both sides, by the way. You want to do this on both sides, otherwise it'll look a little bit weird, honestly. So you want to have this. Now, what we want to do next is we actually want to fill in the inside of this using lime concrete. So, one row below the blue concrete that is going to be the water slide, we want to place a layer of green concrete that just sits one row below the blue, if that makes sense, and I'm sure it does. So it just wants to sit like one row below the blue, like that. That's the best way that I can show it you, really. So like, it just wants to sit underneath the blue concrete like this at the start, so that it lines up with the door, because this platform right here is where we are going to be walking out from the house and down onto the slide. And then we just want to place lime green concrete here, like this, on the inside of the blue, coming down, so that we create a nice sort of waterfall, which is essentially our water slide, like this. And then you can connect it all together, just like that. And on the sides here, we're actually going to want to fill in the sides. You just want to extend the ends of the green concrete backwards like this, and you will be able to completely fill in these sides with your lime concrete, just like that. And on the opposite side, we want to do the same thing too. We just want to completely fill the center of this in. Just, well, I say the center, we want to fill the outsides in, just so that it looks nice from the outside. Otherwise, it would look perhaps a little bit rough. So far, we want to have something which should look like that. And that's looking pretty good all by itself. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to take the blue concretes that hit the floor, and we want to place red concrete in front of the blue. Extend the red concretes inwards by 1, towards you by 1, inwards by 1, towards you by 1, connect them together. And then if you like, you can then dig into the ground and you can replace the ground with either maybe yellow concrete, with some green. It depends what kind of colours you're looking for, but you know, some sort of different colour would be nice. You also want to take the left hand side where we placed the very first red concrete and place a yellow to the left, up by 2, 1, 2, then place a glowstone with wooden trapdoors all the way around the glowstone, like this, just so that it creates a nice little light post. And once you've done that, we're actually going to be doing a similar thing on the right here. We want to take the right hand red concrete, we want to place a yellow to the right of that, up by 2, 1, 2, glowstone, then wooden trapdoors all the way around the glowstone. I think that it kind of just it's just a nice way to highlight the finishing point. You don't have to place it if you don't want to. Now I'm going to place the water, and I'm going to begin the water just on the first step here. I'm going to run a row of water buckets all the way down like that, and then the water will nicely fill up the actual water slide part. And that's, like I keep saying, that's actually a pretty cool looking house altogether. But we're now going to do the like parkour bouncy house part. So if we begin with the yellow concrete block that is attached to the lamppost here, we want to take this yellow concrete and we want to go right of it by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a red concrete and go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then extend the base red concrete towards you by 1. Go right of that by 3 with the quartz slab. 1, 2, 3. Then a red concrete. Go backwards by 1. Go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. And place yellow concrete behind the red. Like this. We then want to go right of the red concrete that we just connected together using the yellows, and we want to go right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. Extend that fifth block upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And take that block that has been extended upwards, and we want to extend it backwards now by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Extend that ninth block up by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then backwards to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect it down to the ground. And also connect the 7th block back to the bouncy house at the back. We now also want to connect this block. We want to place upon this block 3 yellow concrete. 1, 2, 3. And also on top of this block, 3 yellow concrete. 1, 2, 3. And you can kind of see why I've placed those, because those are the corner blocks. We want to make a shape which basically it just looks like the letter H, really, is kind of like what we've gone for there. Now, once you have done that, we want to do this. So if you come inside of what you've just made, and you want to look for this block right here, this one right here. From this block, you want to extend it left by 5 using blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a yellow concrete in front of that block. Extend that block down to the ground. Extend the block upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And connect the original block, which is of course this one, to the left using red concrete. So you should be able to extend it all the way over to the left, and it will connect in a manner that looks like this. You also want to connect the bottoms of the bouncy house together. And what I mean by that is you want to connect the bottom of this lamppost, for instance. You want to connect it backwards using a row of yellow concrete. You want to connect that middle part together as well, like this, to create a rectangular shape. You want to connect the back together as well to create yet another rectangular shape, just like this. That's looking pretty good. And the end result of which should look exactly like that, really. That's pretty much mostly that. Now, let's talk about this next bit. So, this next bit is, we'll work our way forward. We'll work our way from the front to the back, alright? So, this entire middle bit here, yeah? This is we're going to fill it in with slime blocks to start with. We'll fill it in with slime. This entire middle bit of the first section, the rectangular section, both of them are rectangles, but this one's bigger, wants to be filled in using some slime block. This is what makes the house a bouncy house. I'm sure that you guys can see why. Slime back. Anyway, so once we have placed this, we are going to want to figure out what sort of obstacle course we want to have. So now that it's all bouncy, that's great, we want to work our way from the entrance up onto this blue ledge. Now this can be as easy or as, or as hard as you want to make it. So I'll suggest this, right? So in this corner, I'm going to place a little 2x2 square platform of red concrete. Then somewhere just up above it here, I'm going to place another square of red concrete like this. So I want to make this one higher so that we can jump from this one onto this one. I then want to work my way this way and a little bit forward. So why don't we put a 1, 2, 3 block jump here. So how about this? It's a 3 block jump. It's the same height like this. Like that. Yeah, that's pretty decent. That's not too bad. We can't make, I'm pretty sure, I don't think we can make that jump to that jump, although maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. Why don't we make these closer? Because I want the finale. I want from here. I want to eventually get from here. I want it to be a 4 block gap. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to make this. I want to make it the same height as the actual blue platform. So this is the same height, right? And it's a 4 block jump, which you're probably not going to make it every time. I made it the second time. I surprised myself, and that is now like an easy sort of obstacle course. You jump from here to there to there to there. I mean, you could even make this, maybe even make this a little bit more difficult. Maybe if you wanted to make it like maybe make it so it's harder to get from here to here, maybe. I don't know, it's completely up to you. The point is, that's the obstacle course. I'm going to fill the rest of the slime, the ones that we've not placed stuff on. I'm going to place blue carpet onto it, just because I like how the blue contrasts with the yellow, and it also contrasts nicely with the red as well. If you like, you could perhaps use a green base, or a purple, or a pink, or whatever sort of carpet you wanted to. You could even go crazy and use weighted pressure plates or something, although I probably wouldn't. But we just want to end up with an effect that should look like this. Now, this next bit, if we move up onto the second part of the platform here, I want to, first of all, I just want to extend the blue concrete. I want to place a rectangular shape of blue concrete all the way around the inside of this shape right here. So I just want to extend it all the way around the inside of this shape right here. So a rectangular area made out of blue concrete. I'll tell you what I'll actually do. I'll actually add an extra row here, and I'll place yellow concrete in this part, just so that it'll actually look a little bit nicer like this. I'm going to place slime blocks inside the center of this, because of course this wants to be bouncy too. This wants to be nice and bouncy, so why not? We'll place slime blocks all the way inside of this. And we also want to cover up these two areas. So I'm going to place blue concrete here. And I'm also going to try placing blue concrete here. I'm going to see how that looks instead of iron bars. And then from the outside, we'll now have this sort of effect, which you can see it's a little bit nicer looking like that, right? At least I think so. So now we have to determine some sort of obstacle course up here. I'm going to use a different color scheme too. So let's say that I want my obstacle course up here. I want it to start here. So I'm going to have a lime green block. And then let's say that I want to do a jump from like to here. Why not? Let's say I want to do a jump and I want it to be 1 block higher. Easy enough. How about that we then have like I kind of want another one just like kind of close to it. And again, every single time it's just going to be 1 block higher. This isn't going to be insanely hard, by the way. And I want us to actually incorporate the slime into getting into the house. So, what would be possible? Like, would having this here, would having this amount of jump, is it possible to get from here and use the bounce into here? I'm sure that looks more than possible to me. I think we just went about it a bit wrong. Yeah, there we go. So you can't jump directly from here into there. You actually physically, I think, to get in there, have to use the bounce. And then I'm just going to fill in the rest of this platform using blue carpet. But once again, like if you wanted to, you could green carpet, yellow carpet, purple, whatever. But you can see that we kind of got a color scheme going on with the whole thing, so I don't really want to change it. So that's actually the obstacle course complete. And that looks pretty cool. It actually looks kind of cool without what I'm going to be doing next, which is the iron bars. So I'm going to simply place some iron bars in between the outside parts of the bouncy house. So the iron bars will also prevent you from cheating. So like on this part, for instance, like I'm going to place iron bars on top of this red bit. It prevents you from cheating. Like otherwise you'd be able to jump from like there to there. It's a bit too easy. You know what? I might even like dig out this part here. And in the original version, I do have this part barred. Like I do have iron bars put up here. Might not bother with this. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna see how I like it. But I definitely want iron bars on this bit on the right hand side because it seems right, like that. And I also want bars on here because I don't want you to accidentally, fall off somehow. Like especially if you've went past the first bit. A 4-block jump for me, honestly. Like I know that it's a very simple like parkour thing. Like 4-block jump. It might be easy for you. It's difficult for me. I'd be very upset to fall straight off. But that's just me. So how does this look? That looks alright, doesn't it? I mean, if you wanted to, you could of course add the iron bars. Maybe I do like the iron bars here. I kind of like boundaries here. So I'm just going to add some iron bars here, like that. Just so that all connects together nicely. And I'm just going to fill in these parts. So I'm just going to fill in the inside of these parts using blue concrete. Just inside of these yellow concrete areas. Just like this. Nothing too crazy. And that will give us something which should look like that. So from the back, looking pretty good. From these sides, looking pretty good as well. I don't think that we've missed anything so far. And if you've done all of that, you should be left with something that should look exactly like this. Yeah, that's about right. Let me clean up the area, and then we can work our way out of this tutorial, because that is the house complete. So this is what it should look like once you have your very own completed bouncy house. As you can see, it's looking pretty nice, pretty colourful. We have our parkour course all set up. Only the most masters, the best parkour people could ever manage to do that. Yeah, I guess it's pretty easy, but you can really just mess about with it until you're happy with the difficulty that you'd have to go through to get up to the house. And if you're awful at parkour, then you also do have the option of simply like getting on these blue bits. I mean, there are ways around it. It's not like a bulletproof system here, but it is supposed to be fun. And that's a house, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that if you've enjoyed this video, if you've enjoyed the house, if you've enjoyed the creativity that's went into it, please do remember to hit that like. If you enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe, please click the little bell next to the subscription button. Shout out to the notification squad, those of you that do turn on notifications and come straight to the videos when they come out. Thank you so much. And if you do want to check out any more things by me, please check out the card system and the description below. I do a little bit of everything on this channel. This is a bit of a weird corner of my world as as most corners are, but you know, we've done all sorts of stuff on the channel. I have some more bouncy houses, some water slide houses. That's actually a roller coaster water slide house. So you know, we do a little bit of weird stuff on this channel, but we also do serious things as well. I'll leave you links to in the card system and in the description below to playlists and builds and stuff that I think that you guys really will enjoy, genuinely. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.